We're here at AQS Quilt Week in Paducah, and I have some more winners with me. This is the Just for Friends group, and this is the group category sponsored by Grace Company. Congratulations, ladies.
Thank you so much.
And you already know I love this quilt because I took my picture in front of it. Well, so tell us a little bit about your group, first of all.
There's 4 of us, as the name would imply. Mary Reinhardt does our machine applique embroidery work, which you see on the outside and through here. Nathan Carter has been doing our detailed piecing work in the feathered star, and the little tiny stars in the corners here. I do the assembly work of bringing it together, making the math line up.
And you are?
I'm Dee Legmo.
Okay.
And then Paige Johnson does our quilting with us. So it keeps us quite busy.
And so then do you just pass the quilt around in segment after you assemble it? Or everybody gives the pieces to you?
Well, Paige has a work studio, and we get together and we start putting it up on the wall. And it's one of those things that, you know, you kind of want to wear your Naugahyde underwear because somebody comes up with a brilliant idea and the other 3 look and go, no, we're not going to do that. And so you have to come up with another idea. And so it becomes very much of a collaboration. The colors of the fabric may change, the placement, the whole design will evolve because the design started with this and with the applique work, but where it was going to go from there, nobody had an idea. So we worked together, continue to throw ideas out, and then I basically do the backwards math of, well, if this is this size, then I need a border of that size, and then I need a triangle here of that size, so that when they give me the pieces, I can get them to fit the spaces that they need to.
Okay, yeah, so that takes a little bit of work, doesn't it?
It takes a little finagling.
Do you know, today we had a geometry club from a local high school, an area high school, and the teacher brought them in because she wanted them to see how you had to use math and geometry, and that's exactly what you had to do to make all these pieces fit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I take out my calculator and make sure everything's going to come together, and then we critique with each other, figuring out what the size is, when you need to have a coping strip, how long, how big does it need to be, and then what can we do to make that coping strip be integrated so that it fits and it makes sense being there.
And on this one, you actually inserted that little piece of that teal color in there to make it fit, didn't you?
Well, it needed something to highlight that square, and the piping worked well. When Paige had finished the quilting, we put it up on the wall and we went, wait a second, I don't really see what's going on here with the quilting. Oh, we can put in beading. So then we ordered a bunch of beading in different sizes, and I got the beading on, and we all looked at it and said, oh, we need more beading to set off the triangles. And so a lot of that gets added on as you're figuring out what works and what doesn't work.
Well, and that's one of those cases where you're carrying some of the things that happen in the center to the edges of the quilt, which always makes the quilt more successful.
Nathan had never done any piping before, so he got assigned to make all of the piping. I was very pleased. All I had to do was put it into the quilt.
Wow, yes. Well, it certainly is a beautiful quilt and certainly deserves the first place ribbon that we have here because you had some tough competition.
Yes, we did. Some very tough competition. I will have to say that the quilting that Paige put into it, where these straight lines that are here continue all the way through the quilt. So this straight line goes up through here, goes up through here. It's the same line that goes across all the way, which also pulls that cohesion back together and makes the same designs show up in the same locations. And that makes a huge difference too.
Well, and we know the quilting is what helps to complete the quilt. And repeating again that same element.
The quilting needs to complement and enhance a quilt, not compete with a quilt. And I think she did an exceptional job in coming up with a lot of intense quilting, but it doesn't overpower what the piecing work is.
Well, it's beautiful, and congratulations to you and your other two friends
Thank you very much.
on winning here in Paducah. And you know, you could get your group quilt entered in the AQS Quilt Contest. We only do group quilts here in Paducah.
Yes.
And so this is a good chance for you too. If it needs to be at least 3 people, but it can be as many as 30 or 50, or how many you have in your guild can make the quilt. I encourage you to take a look at the rules for 2024. You'll find those all at AmericanQuilter.com. And we want to see some more group quilts, don't we?
I think it would be delightful.
Better yet, come see us at the show and see these quilts in person so you can see all of that tiny detail. See you soon.